Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that the harder you try with a woman, the faster she pulls away? You say all the right things, you're agreeable, you're available, and you end up becoming utterly forgettable. There's a reason for this. It's because you're playing a game you were designed to lose, using a rule book that was handed to you by a world that profits from your confusion and weakness. But there's another way, a way that involves less effort and infinitely more. Power. It's a way of being that is so rare, so magnetic, that it forces a complete reversal of the chase. This power is contained in 3 forbidden phrases. And I call them forbidden, not because they are taboo, but because they go against everything the world has taught you about being a nice guy. They are forbidden by your own conditioning. It's a part of you that has been trained to seek approval, instead of commanding respect. These aren't pickup lines. They are verbal keys to unlocking a mindset that ancient Stoics and modern psychologists agree is the core of irresistible attraction. Stay with me, and I'll give you those keys. The fundamental mistake we make is believing that attraction is something we get from her. It's not something we radiate from within. Most men walk into an interaction subconsciously asking a question. Am I enough for you? Their words, their body language, their eagerness to please, it's all a performance designed to get a yes. This is what's known as the approval-seeking frame, and it is a fatal error. From an evolutionary standpoint, strength, competence, and emotional stability are the bedrock of masculine attraction. A man who needs a woman's approval to feel good about himself is demonstrating the opposite of stability. He's showing her that his emotional center is external, that it's fragile, and that it's dependent on her. He's asking her to carry a burden. She is biologically programmed to find unattractive. A woman doesn't feel safe with a man who bends to emotional pressure because his inconsistency makes him undependable. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. They knew that true power isn't about controlling others. It's about building an unshakable fortress inside yourself. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. It's time to stop seeking validation from the outside world and start building that internal citadel. The first forbidden phrase is the verbal manifestation of a man who has mastered his inner world. Imagine this. You ask a woman out and she hesitates. Maybe she says she's busy. The average man immediately goes into fix-it mode, tries to convince her, offers other days. He starts to plead. His entire emotional state is now hanging on her answer. But the Stoic man, the man who understands the dichotomy of control, does something radical. He looks at her calmly, maybe with a slight smile, and says, "All right, good either way." Do you feel the power shift in that moment? It's not being rude. It's not being passive-aggressive. He is communicating something profound. My happiness is not in your hands. He is applying the wisdom of the philosopher Epictetus. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Her decision is not in his control. Piece of Mindus. This shatters her expectations and creates a powerful psychological effect called reward uncertainty. Because he's not predictable, because the reward of his validation isn't guaranteed. Her brain's dopamine system lights up. He's no longer a predictable commodity. He's a fascinating puzzle she suddenly feels compelled to solve. The second forbidden phrase builds on this foundation of inner strength. It's what you say when the world or a woman tries to pull you from your path. She texts you at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, "Hey, wanna grab a drink?" The average man, desperate for a chance, drops everything. He abandons his workout, his work, his commitments. He communicates that she is his purpose. The high-value Stoic man responds differently. He says, "Sounds fun, but I can't tonight. I'm focused on finishing this project." This isn't a rejection of her. It's an affirmation of his mission. This triggers one of the most powerful laws of human desire, the scarcity principle. 'Cause his time and attention are not freely available. their value skyrockets. He is communicating that he has a purpose greater than her validation, a core tenet of Stoic virtue. In the language of evolutionary psychology, he is broadcasting signals of ambition, discipline, and high mate value. He is not a follower waiting for an opportunity. He is a leader creating his own reality. And that kind of man is a challenge, an adventure. Someone she has to work to fit into the life of. Asterisk, the third and final forbidden phrase is perhaps the most psychologically potent. It's a tool of masterful storytelling and emotional pacing. You're in a deep conversation. You're sharing something real, maybe about a past challenge or a great adventure. She's leaning in, captivated. And right at the peak of the story, you pause, smile, and say, "You know what? That's a story for another time. This is not a trick." This is a deep understanding of human psychology, grounded in the Stoic principle of self-control. You are the master of your own narrative, choosing when and how to reveal your depths. This creates what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains are wired to obsess over unfinished business. By opening a compelling narrative loop and then gently closing the door, you plant a flag in our mind. Shahaz, to know the ending. You've just created a cognitive itch that only another conversation with you can scratch. You're no longer just a guy she had a nice chat with. You are an unfinished story she needs to resolve. You've moved from being a person in her presence to being a presence in her thoughts. So, do you see the pattern? I'm good either way. I can't. I'm on my path. That's a story for another time. These are not disconnected tricks. They are the branches of the same tree, and the root of that tree is Stoic self-mastery. The world tells you to be alpha by dominating your environment. But the Stoics knew the truth. You become truly powerful when you master your internal environment. When you no longer need the world to be a certain way, to be at peace. When your validation comes from your own character. When your purpose is your guide. This is the man a woman can't forget. This is the ultimate form of frame control. Your reality is so solid, so self-generated, that it remains unshaken by the chaos outside of it. The great epiphany is this. The most attractive force on earth is not something you dodo a woman. It is something you are for yourself. It is the quiet, unshakable peace of a man who has anchored his worth internally. In a world of emotional noise and desperate validation seeking, this inner peace is the rarest and most valuable currency. You stop being a participant in her world and become a destination in yours. This knowledge is useless if it remains just an idea in your head. It must be forged in practice, so I'm not going to give you a long list of things to do. I'm going to give you one, the one that started it all for the great Stoics. Tonight, I want you to perform what's called the dichotomy of control. Take a journal and draw a line down the page. On one side, list the things that caused you stress today. A comment someone made. Traffic. A woman who didn't text back. On the other side, list what was actually in your control. Your response. Your effort. Your integrity. You will quickly find that almost everything that disturbs your peace is on the side of the page you can't control. This simple act, done daily, is the workout. It will build the mental muscle that allows you to live these truths, not just understand them. It is the foundation. It is how you begin to genuinely feel I'm good either way, because you will have proven to yourself day after day that your strength doesn't come from the world going your way, but from your ability to handle it when it doesn't. The path of the Stoic is not the easy path. It's the path of discipline, of self-reflection, and of radical personal responsibility. But it is the only path to true freedom and unshakable strength. Stop trying to find the right words to say to her, and start focusing on becoming the man who doesn't need to. Build your inner citadel and you will become a king, okay? If you are on this path, then you've found your tribe. We don't chase here. We lead, we build. Subscribe and join us. We go deeper here. We don't offer tricks, we offer truths. And before you go, take the first step of the practice. Leave a comment below with one thing that was outside your control today that you are now choosing to release. Let's see the power in letting go together. Thank you for your time. Now go and build.